everyone. I'm Larry Ridley, and this is the NFL on EA Sports. Today's matchup features two teams looking for a win. It's the Ravens coming in at 2-12, going up against the Bills, who come in at 7-7. So, with the call of this Week 16 matchup, let's hand it over to our commentators, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
There's Dan Carpenter set to kick this one off. And off we go from M&T Bank Stadium. This one taken from the 7. And a good effort on the return there. Gets him across the 30 to the 33-yard line. They'll come out in the pistol. Now it's the Chiefs' all-time leading rusher. It's Jamaal Charles on the carry. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down.
It should go without saying that anytime you run the football well and gain a nice chunk of yardage, that means the offensive line did their job and did it really well. But let's give them a little more credit than that. Because all week long, offensive line meetings, they're going over adjustments, counters, when the line shifts, all those things that go along with it. And yet, you still have to be physical, and that's what they did on the first play. Some runs are blocked so well, you almost forget that someone has to carry the ball to gain the yardage. The leverage by the offensive line to create space up front, really well done.
On second down, Jamaal Charles. And he'll get this down only to about the 46. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a 3rd and 3. 3rd down and 3. Short yardage situation. Here's Charles. And he spins past him and into space. And they're able to get this one down to the 25. It's a gain of 20 and picking up the first.
I know it's all smiles on the offensive side of the ball right now, but you and I both know the entire mindset was just pick up the first down. What do you call that? One of those gravy plays?
Gravy, absolutely. They got more than they bargained for.
Love the way it turned out for them. Couldn't imagine going into the play that they thought this would be the end result.
Yeah, the defense got to be shaking their head, though. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9. See if they stay on the ground for 2nd down. Now a handoff. This is Charles. And a short gain here down to the 22. 2 yards on the carry there, and it's going to lead them to 3rd down.
In order to play really good run defense when you're playing a 3-4, those 3 guys up front, the nose tackle and the guys they call the defensive ends, they're usually big people because they're going to have to eat up a lot of blockers because it's usually 5 on 3. And when they do their job well, guys who play on the inside, those inside linebackers, they're able to just roam and hit.
On 3rd down, he'll drop to throw. Surveying the field. And that is incomplete. So on 4th down, here's the Ravens Pro Bowl kicker, Justin Tucker, out onto the field. It's a 39-yard attempt, right hash. And Tucker's kick right there. It's good. And the Ravens strike first at 3-zip. So the opening drive for them here on their home turf results in a field goal.
Now that's the way you want to get things started. Your stadium, your crowd, you've got the ball, put points on the board first, and let everyone start to celebrate.
And the decision to bring it out, a good one, as he's up a yard or 2 shy of the 30.
Illegal block in the back. Return team. Automatic first down.
Here
first down. He'll drop to throw it. That's caught by his tight end, Uzomah. A nice pickup there of 11 yards, and it'll move the sticks.
Coaches always harp on the quarterback reading the defense and getting it to the open man. That's good recognition there. And how about what he did after the catch?
Yeah, hit your tight end, let him get some rack.
Yeah, when he gets moving, not many guys want to come over and put a hit on him, do they?
And that's caught left side. It's Woods. Give him 9 there on the first down completion. Partner, nothing complicated here. This is just a pretty simple drag route.
You're exactly right, Brandon. Instead of throwing it downfield, they just throw it underneath and let the receiver do the work.
And to give this time to the tailback. And he is going to lose yardage here. It's a loss of 2, now third down.
And frankly, Brandon, we're talking about things I'm not sure we ever thought we'd talk about in the NFL, and a lot of that is the speed at the linebacker position. A lot of these guys in college, they were safeties. They moved them up to outside linebacker to combat the spread offenses, and now we're seeing it in the NFL. Those same guys using their speed to make plays in the backfield, similar to that one.
That one good for 16, and the drive will continue.
The goal of every offense is to move the chains, pick up first downs. A nice job finding an open receiver for a completion.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up second down. Second down to the offense in search of 6 yards.
Not a run that you're going to write home about, but still a good first down run. That's what an offense calls staying on schedule. 3 to 4 yards on first down, you're set up very well for the rest of the drive.
Toward the sideline, and look at that catch. Dragging the toes, and that's going to be a first down. Well done.
As if he didn't have enough to think about on that route, the comeback route, coming back to the football and catching it, decided to make sure he toe-tapped and kept himself in bounds.
And that was spectacular, but on the comeback route, maybe a little easier to deal with the sideline since you've got better vision of it.
I think that's a great point because you should know exactly where you're going and know how much space you have and make sure you get your feet down. But, yeah, coming back to the football, I like it. Good vision. Looked like they had an opportunity for a big play across the middle, but he didn't have the concentration or the focus necessary and dropped it before he could haul it in.
On play action, they'll throw. And this time he's got the hook up. It's complete. And he gets it all the way down inside the 10 to the 5-yard line. So they're operating in the red zone.
There are so many things to watch for when you play defense. And reading your keys, you always hear about that, having your eyes in the right place. Sometimes your eyes can...
And he takes it in across the chalk for a Bills touchdown. A great effort there with touchdown number 12 on the year. And the Bills have taken the early lead. Solid job up front, really just a solid job all the way around to get that one in.
That was well executed, wasn't it? Well blocked, well run. End result, 6 points.
Touchdown. So that drive consumes 9 plays all told. And it ends in a Buffalo touchdown. This will be fielded at the 6. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. And now Baltimore gets set to take the field. And after the field goal last time, we'll see what they can get here. At least they got points out of the last drive, Charles.
I never met an offensive coach that didn't want to drive to end with a kick. Most of them wanted to end with a PAT, right? In this case, a field goal, they'll take it way better than
the ball comes out, but this will fortunately wind up out of bounds.
And I have to admit, partner, that I've often thought that I don't like this rule, where the offensive player fumbles the ball, it goes out of bounds, and they get to keep it.
That's just because you're a defensive guy. That's why you don't like it.
Yeah, you're right. It is a slanted view, isn't it?
But this is where, for the offensive team, the sideline is their friend. Usually it's not there for him.
Yeah, exactly right. I actually played for a guy in college. You know what he used to name the sideline? Sammy. Sammy sideline, and use him well.
It's a 9-yard gain, and it keeps the drive moving.
That's a good, nice, crisp run for a first down. I wonder if the defense might have been loosened up a little bit, maybe anticipating a pass instead of the run that they got.
On first down, it's Charles again. And he lost the football. Charles loses it. But fortunately, he's able to recover his own fumble, or that could have been trouble.
All I can say about this play is that someone's living right. I mean, he's trying to gain yardage, trying to get upfield. Ball comes free. What's that panic that we've talked about oftentimes that you feel when you lose the ball?
You can sense it.
Oh, you can sense it, and somehow he got to it and was able to recover it for his squad.
4 yards on the pickup there as they get it back to a more manageable 3rd and 7.
But you've got to give kudos to your offensive line and the guy carrying the ball because they were in a 2nd and long situation. It seemed pretty dire, but they brought it back to 3rd and manageable with that run.
The gun now on 3rd down. Finding time. Going underneath for Charles. And he'll be brought down right at the 45-yard line. Give him 7 on the play, and that'll bring up 4th down.
Well, it wasn't a big strike, but that completion put them in really great range. What do we have now, 4th and inches?
Yeah, it's not more than a half a foot.
You know what I would do here?
You would always go for it.
I'm one of those guys.
And this will be out of bounds. Now it's a question of where they'll mark it. And they'll say it crosses at the 11-yard line. And they'll try the ground game here with the running back. And he's going to lose yardage here back at the 8. The loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's 2nd down.
The evaluation process in today's NFL does not take into account as much bulk as it does speed, and that's what we're seeing with the linebacker position. Those guys that can run, they can play at any spot because they can make plays on the opposite side of the line of scrimmage.
And the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete.
Normally, he's pretty reliable, usually catches what's thrown to him, and that play, he simply dropped it.
Now the Ravens bring out an extra defensive back here on 3rd down.
Could be a blitzer.
They'll set up a throw. And he comes back with one complete. And they're able to bring him down at the 20. With Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. 2nd quarter about to get underway with the Bills in possession. They are, however, facing a 4th down situation. But he'll get this away into the icy winter air. Now Sanders. Nice job on the return there. 16 yards. And the Ravens, they'll take over. And now Baltimore gets set to take the field. And a tight game after punting last time. See if they can get something going on this drive.
As they head to the field now, with the game this close, you've got to feel there's a sense of urgency for them going on offense right now. But they have to do it without letting panic creep in and affect their play.
They'll start the drive with Jamaal Charles. And he'll work this one up to about the 38.
holding, offense.
And that right there will set him back a bit on the offensive holding penalty.
And you know who you want to pressure after a penalty like that? The guy who just committed the foul. You want to see if he's going to keep his head down or if he's going to get his head right back into the game. I'd send a blitz at him right away and see if he holds up.
Following the penalty, here's Charles. And he will lose yardage here back at the 23-yard line. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up second down.
Brandon, that play ended so fast, it's almost as if the quarterback handed it to the runner and the tackler was there right away for a loss of yardage.
All right, here we go. Green 39. Green 39.
Off the play fake, he'll look to throw. Deep drop. A dump off for Charles. Just a 1-yard pickup on the play, and they're going to face an uphill battle here on 3rd and long.
Everyone's got to be able to catch them.
And now the Bills are going to stop it as they call a timeout. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this second quarter. The defense, they got a little bit of a breather. Now they're back and set as we resume play. Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. He's got time in the pocket. And some room to maneuver. And he'll slide down to avoid the tackle. A good pickup there of 20 yards. And now a first down following that long gain. They'll keep it on the ground, this time with Charles. And this one's going to go the wrong way, losing yardage back at the 42. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be second down.
To me, that's a superior play by the backer because he was allowed to, I think, run free on it and make that play. His defensive linemen, they covered things down for him because offensive guys, the linemen, what they're trying to do, as you know, is block the guy at the point of attack and then climb to the next level and get the linebacker. When you're not allowed to climb, you got a free hitter, and that's what we saw there, and a really nice play resulted for them. Was that a receiver? Yeah, actually it was. It was a running back who was a receiver on the play. I think he's been spending time in the receiver drills getting his feet down.
Well, those guys out of the backfield, they got to be good, agile with their feet. He showed the agility there with a toe tap.
No doubt about it. It's like he'd learned to ballet school. Got the toes down and stayed in bounds.
And incomplete. He had nowhere to throw, so he just tossed it away. But that brings up 4th.
Partner, how many times have you heard it? Pressure creates diamonds, right? But it also bursts pipes. And on that one, that's what they got. They got after him, and he was fortunate just to get rid of it.
Yeah, he just had to chuck it away. This is taken at the 15. Give him 11 yards that time on the return. And the Bills will take over the football with a 1st and 10. Here's the Buffalo offense now as they get set to take over here. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. They'll get 19 yards there, and it'll be a Buffalo first down.
So much goes into a successful play, doesn't it? How about that play action there, freezing the defense just enough to bring the tight end free downfield for the completion.
Now a handoff here to his running back. And he'll cut it to the right sideline. And he's brought down. They call it a gain of 19, and it moves the chains.
And that run was what a lot of people call an explosive run. Gave them good yardage, solid yardage. They feel good about the whole thing, and they did it behind a 2 tight end set. It's always interesting to watch what offenses want to do with the 2 tight ends. Sometimes they line them up together for a power set. Sometimes they put one on each side of the line of scrimmage to balance things out. No matter what, though, when you see 2 tight ends on the field, your first thought is to think run. In this case, the offense was able to run successfully.
They'll look to throw. It's a short one here, complete to the tight end. And they'll get this one down to about the 20-yard line. And 15 yards there on the catch and run.
And after that completion, you can understand why so many teams in the league are emphasizing speed on defense at every position. The tight ends have created so many tough matchups now. If you can't run with a tight end as a linebacker.
And he'll take it into the end zone for a Buffalo touchdown. A great play there. His third touchdown. Now on the year, and the Bills will extend their lead. Now Carpenter to add the extra point. And this one's right through to make it a 14-3 ball game. After the TD, here's Carpenter on to kick it away. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. And now Baltimore gets set to take the field. And with this deficit, you can't have too many more drives like the last drive where you had to punt it away.
You know what I would tell my offense right here? The punter doesn't exist, guys. He doesn't even exist. He's not a team anymore. I just cut it. All right? So you got to go out and